Hi, today we want to look at subtracting integers, but what we're going to start with is adding integers, and we're going to see how subtraction is related to addition. Remember, subtraction is not your friend, so if we can change subtraction into addition, we'll be able to move terms around. We can't do that when we have subtraction. We can't move subtraction around. So let's look at this model. So this model is showing 3 plus negative 2. So we know that 3 plus negative 2 is 1. The model shows that. But really, what if I did 3 minus 2? Where would I end up? Well, I would go out to 3, and I would come back 2. I would end up at the same spot. So what we're really doing is 3 minus 2 is the same thing as 3 plus negative 2. So what I can do is change this subtraction problem into addition by adding the opposite of what I was subtracting. So I was subtracting 2, but it's the same thing as 3 plus a negative 2. This will help us later when we have to move terms around. Let's take a look at another one. So what happens if I start off with, let me erase that. So what happens when I start off with negative 5 and I subtract 2 again? Well, subtracting positive numbers, I move to the left on the number line. Same thing here. So if I had my problem, and my problem was, we started with negative 5, and we subtract 2. Well, if I change this to addition by adding the opposite, I add the opposite. It is the addition problem, negative 5 plus negative 2. So really, that's our rule with subtraction. What we're going to do with subtraction is we're going to add the opposite. So what we do is we change subtraction to addition and change the sign of the second number. Now this will work. This will work even when I have regular numbers here. So what happens when I have 3 minus 5, right? So 3 minus 5. So what is 3 minus 5? So let me draw that out here. So 3 minus 5. If I add the opposite, so instead of 3 minus 5, so 3 minus 5 is the same thing as 3 plus negative 5. So 3 plus negative 5 on our number line here is going to look like this. So we go out to 3, and we subtract 5 off of there. So we had 3, we come back to 0, and we keep going in the negative direction. So 3 minus 5 is the same thing as 3 plus negative 5. So what we're doing here is we're adding the opposite. So again, this problem, 3 minus 5, is the same as 3 plus negative 5. So each time when I see subtraction, so that I'm able to move things around, I am adding the opposite. Notice I'm making 2 marks. The first number stays the way it is. I don't mess with that. I change subtraction to addition and change the sign of the second number. So if the second number was negative, it becomes positive. If it's positive, it becomes negative. And then I follow my rules for adding integers. That's all there is to it. So for subtracting integers, the rule is quite simple. We add the opposite. We change addition to subtraction by changing the subtraction sign to addition, and we change the sign of the second number. If it's positive, it becomes negative. If it's negative, it becomes positive. Here's an example. So if we had 7 minus 2, it's the same thing as 7 plus negative 2. Notice subtraction changed to addition, and 2 changed to negative 2. Another example would be negative 3 minus 2 is the same thing is negative 3 plus negative 2.